Well, hello, friends. Welcome to the Ladybird browser update for August 2025. I have a little bit of an eye problem today, which is why I'm wearing glasses. I have a corneal erosion issue. So if you see me crying during the presentation, don't worry. It's not that I'm disappointed in Ladybird. I'm just struggling a little bit. But let's look at August. So the first thing we always do is thank our sponsors. Ladybird is funded entirely by sponsors and donations from companies and individuals who care about the open web, and they like that we're building an independent implementation of it. This month, we have a couple of new sponsors joining us. And we also have Bastian rejoining or renewing his sponsorship at the bronze level. Very, very cool. And at the copper level, we have a new sponsor called Timely Learning. Very cool as well. And on the infrastructure side, we now have OakHost sponsoring us with macOS CI infrastructure, which is super cool as well, because then we're no longer reliant on the pretty slow GitHub CI runners. So super awesome. All right. So in August 2025, a bunch of things have happened, and I guess let's take a look at some of them. In terms of raw numbers, we've seen 244 pull requests from 43 contributors. Pretty typical, but good pace. We're making excellent progress. On the web platform test side, which is our main compliance benchmark, we have seen 8,106 new passing tests for a total of 1.839 million. This is great progress, and we've run out of low-hanging fruit, but we're still finding, medium and high-hanging fruit to pick off the tree. So that's excellent. If we look at the top 6 browsers in context, we can see here that this was a month ago and this is today. So if we toggle back and forth here, we can see that there's forward movement. Both Ladybird and Flow, I think, are the ones moving the most at the moment there. And if we subtract all of the text encoding tests, which web platform tests famously includes millions of text encoding tests that are not that interesting. So if we take those out, we can see the difference here is a bit more pronounced, and that's really nice to see. But yeah, we continue working on the web platform tests, continue improving, and it's something that we're going to be doing for a long time into the future. Historically speaking, this is what web platform test looks like since December last year, so almost a full year of coverage now. Everybody's trending up. That's fantastic. And Ladybird is getting closer and closer to Flow there. They leapfrogged us back in May, and I think we're going to overtake them sometime soon if things continue this way. Yeah, that's web platform tests. So something really awesome this month is Google Sheets. We got Google Sheets running in Ladybird finally. This is the spreadsheet application from Google Docs. And here's a short video of me demonstrating the fact that it works. And the big thing here, there were many, many things that we needed to do, but the big thing that made it all work was making sure that canvas elements actually continue to update visually after you resize them. Turns out we had a bug about that. And once that was fixed, this just started working almost instantly, which was just really fun to see. Okay. Something else that's super awesome this month is we now support the Gamepad API. This means that you can plug in Gamepad, such as an Xbox controller or PlayStation controller or whatever. You can connect it with Bluetooth or USB. I think we support all kinds of connections. And this is a video of Luke demonstrating using an Xbox controller in the background here. And switching over to, what is that, a Nintendo Switch controller? Yes. Very cool. Yeah, so this works, and it's built on top of SDL3, which gives us a bunch of cross-platform compatibility out of the box without us having to do it ourselves. Also demonstrating a PlayStation controller. Luke's really going all out here. Even going on to demonstrate some kind of game using the controller. This is really, really awesome. And it's a great demonstration as well of our 3D graphics and WASM improvements. Um, Other than the slightly noticeable load times, such as this, you can see that we've put in a bunch of effort on performance and correctness with WASM and 3D graphics like WebGL, all these things. And yeah, the game finally loads, and maybe we'll take a look here just to see the controller working. We can actually see the state of the controller in the Ladybird window on the right, and we can see the game playing in the window on the left. So I think this is really cool. So very awesome. This month we also got WebGL working on Linux. It had been a Mac OS only thing for us for some time, but this month we finally got all the pieces in place to get all the different graphics layers talking to each other using this DMA buff graphics API. And this means that we now have fast 3D graphics on Linux as well, which is awesome. Okay, so something that is kind of nerdy but fun is grapheme clusters. So if you're not familiar, nowadays we have a lot of these emojis that are built out of other emojis, but this applies to complex language scripts as well. So this is an example here of the farmer emoji or farmer man. And there isn't like a dedicated Unicode code point for the male farmer. Instead, it's actually 3 code points. It's the man followed by a zero width joiner, followed by a I don't know what that is, a wheat or plant or something. And the way it works is that the zero width joiner tells the text rendering layout and rendering system that this is supposed to be combined into a single cluster, a single graphical unit. And this is something that we had been pretty bad about in the past. Like, we knew how to display these things, but if you would try to press right to move the cursor from one side of a grapheme cluster to the other, we would sort of step into the cluster and put the cursor between the man and the zero width joiner and so on. And we didn't do this correctly in a million different ways. And this month, we have dramatically improved our support for grapheme clusters so that you can traverse across one of these sort of visual characters correctly. And if you select, you get the right thing. If you press down when you're on the line above, we do the right thing, that kind of stuff. So this is really, really nice progress on something that, everybody takes for granted now, that emojis work correctly in text. So that's very, very cool. This month, we've also implemented the Cookie Store API. The Cookie Store is a modern promise-based API for cookies that replaces the classic document.cookie, which kind of gives you all the cookies as a string, and then you have to parse them yourself, more or less. That's never been a great API. So Cookie Store API provides get all, set, delete, and there's even a cookie change event that you can handle. So this is new web tech, and we have implemented basic support for it. I think it's a fantastic addition to the platform, and it's important that we support it, and now we do. As usual, we have a bunch of CSS improvements. So we have some new pseudo classes. Actually, I'm kind of cheating here, but we have the heading pseudo class and the heading function pseudo class. These select like H1, H3 elements. But if you don't specify numbers, it selects all H elements. And we've added the env function for CSS environment variables. We've improved our support for clamping and interpolation. And this is when you're animating or transitioning properties between 2 different values, then there are all these rules for clamping those values so that they stay within the acceptable range of values. And this is something that was a little tricky, but I think we've gotten it right now. And it just makes animations and transitions look more correct everywhere because we're not overstepping sort of the clamping points where we're supposed to cut off the transitions. And as usual, we have all kinds of layout fixes in all the different layout modes, fixes to block layout, inline layout, flex, grid, table layout even, I think. Layout is something we continue to work on, and we always learn about layout issues and bug reports, and it's fantastic that so many people are reporting and reducing, creating simplified reductions of layout issues, because that has allowed us to move forward faster on fixing a lot of them. So really great to see this. Okay, so let's do a little demo of Ladybird so that we can see how things are looking. So let's launch the latest version of Ladybird here, and we will start by, as is tradition, visiting our sponsors, our new sponsors. This month we have a renewing sponsor, Bastian Müller. We'll load that up in the background, and we also have Timely Learning in the copper tier here. And OakHost joins us as an infrastructure sponsor. So let's check out their websites. Bastian's website looks basically as I remember it from last year. I don't know that he has posted anything new, but site looks good, I think. We can go to his GitHub here. And, ooh, seems like we are popping these open, even though I'm mousing down here. That doesn't seem correct. They're popping open very fast, though, which is nice. But something going wrong with the hit testing there. But yeah, thank you, Bastian, for sponsoring. Very, very cool. We also have Timely Learning. It's a new way of learning languages, apparently. And I love this. They detect that we are coming here with Ladybird. So they show like this little heart. If you go here with Ladybird, I checked. And if you go there with another browser like Chrome, I'm pretty sure they don't do that, but let's double check just to be sure. Oh, that was just a random test case. Yeah, see, so they're detecting us. That's awesome. Thank you very much to Timely Learning for sponsoring us. And finally, we have OakHost. So they are sponsoring us with Mac runners for our CI, and their website is so buttery smooth, and Ladybird's downright impressive. Do we still have issues? Yes, we do, because it seems like I can't click on these things. So probably something that we have to investigate. Does that break in a new tab? Yes. Okay, we have issues here to deal with, but very cool to have new sponsors. Thank you all for sponsoring. If you are interested in sponsoring, of course, go to ladybird.org and read more about it in the FAQ. So let's take a look at some of the stuff I talked about earlier at Google Sheets. So this is something I think is so cool. The fact that this works now. So I'm going to load it up here. You can see it's definitely a little slow, definitely has some glitches here and there. I'm going to load up my workout planning spreadsheet that I use for my own strength training here, and pop to the latest week. So we can see here what I have to do tomorrow is this. And it just works in Ladybird. How cool is that? Now, there are a bunch of issues here. I think like if I change, for example, my, oh, I can't even put the cursor there. Okay. If I change this, it doesn't actually update based on the percentages elsewhere. So these are supposed to be my baseline numbers for the week. But there are some issues that like formulas don't update correctly. We need to figure out what's going on. But we are well on our way to proper spreadsheeting here. And I think that's just very awesome. Another thing that we worked on this month is cal.com. So I spent a bunch of time with getting this website to work. It's like a calendar scheduling app, and we had a bunch of issues on the sort of the landing page and the marketing material for the app. And also, if I'm logged in here, we had all kinds of layout issues, grid layout, and other types of layout problems. And we've gone through it and fixed a whole bunch of them, which is awesome. I was even able to book a meeting with myself. Maybe we can even book one with me right now. Let's see if we can pop it open. It seems to me that we're having a little bit of issues with clicking on links and stuff after I open it in a background tab. It's something we need to investigate. All right, let's see. Let's book a 15-minute meeting here with myself. Maybe on. Okay, wow, it was really troublesome with the opening in a background tab for some reason. Let's talk. Confirm. All right, so that's pretty cool. So this now will show up in my calendar, and I love it. We fixed so many issues just to get this running, and it's so cool to see like a real web app work all the way end to end like this. But yeah, as you can see, we have some issues with stuff where you open a link in a background tab and mouse doesn't work correctly in it. Anyway, last thing I wanted to show you is this thing called Crazy Games. So my nephew, who's 10, he's really pumped on this website called crazygames.com. He likes to go here and play Ragdoll Archers. So I'm going to pop that game open. So this is like WASM, a lot of WASM and WebGL. And we take a bit of time here to load up the game. But once it gets loaded, once we've validated and compiled all the WASM, then the game is, I would say, like downright playable, which is cute. And yeah, I was expecting this to be a lot more trouble, but we got it working very, very easily. And there are a bunch of WASM performance issues here that we need to tackle to make it run more smoothly. It's definitely not 60 FPS at the moment, but it's a great start. And I would say the fact that it runs so smoothly as it does, while the website remains interactive and everything, super cool. Super, super cool. And I get to impress my nephew with his games site working. So anyway, that's what I wanted to show you today. All right, before we go, I want to thank everybody who contributed in the month of August 2025. The list of names here is everybody who has a commit in the Git repo in the month. But if you've contributed in some other way, we thank you as well. Obviously, if you've contributed, financially or by reporting bugs or by telling somebody else about Ladybird, or just commenting on a video about Ladybird, coming to one of our talks. It's just lovely to see all the different contributions and all the ways that people are engaging with the project. And we're really happy that we're moving forward with such good pace and with such good momentum. So we're going to keep that going. And on that note, thank you, the viewer of this video, for checking it out, for staying up to date with our project. Go to ladybird.org for more information if you want to sponsor or get involved with the project as a developer. We're always looking for more developers, so come hang out. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.